Hi. Okay, I don't know if there's anybody. I can't see anything. I just joined. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Today we are doing the African recap, the monthly African recap we do with African Tigress. And hi, Junin, welcome. And yeah, she's here with me. I'm going to um, cast her so that you can see her. Hello, African Tigress.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm good. I'm good. So, are you ready for our recap?
Obviously, yes, I'm ready for this.
So, what do you, before you start, what do you usually say until people join? You know, I'm like an infant when it comes to
um,
this.
on my platform, I just give it like a minute or two to allow more people to get into the stream. So I just shout out the
Okay.
ones in the stream, ask everybody on the stream, or everybody who's already in the stream to go ahead and share the stream so that we have more people in the stream for the conversation and also get to know why everybody's watching
Ah,
the stream.
okay. Noted. So, please share this video so that people can join. And also, oh, I see Widai. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Hello, Pan African. Hi. How is it in Ethiopia? Sis, I am not in Ethiopia, but it's getting better. Peace. Hi, blessed child. I can't wait. So yeah, at least I see 7 people. Welcome, welcome. And like the video. I also hear you say like the video when you join. So I'm going
Yeah,
to copy African Tigress and like the video. I like
yeah.
the video. Yes. So I think it's been 2 minutes. So we can maybe start now, right? Because I don't want us to be late. We have just 1 hour.
Okay.
Let's start from Malawi. One of the topics we have is Malawi and the new president. Um, I hope I'm going to pronounce it right, Lazarus Chakwera. And
Chakwera.
Chak, so he came. He's just been inaugurated, right?
Yeah.
In June is when he won the second round. Because the first president, the previous president Peter won the first one, and the court ruled that it needs to be done again because there was some kind of involvement, and it was not a true he truly did not win that. And so the second round this guy won. um what else? And so from what I gather, Malawi people really like him so far, the new president. And I really hope he does not let them down. All we can do now, I guess, is see how he moves, and if he actually, follows through the plans he has made and the promises he made during his speech. So what do you think about? Firstly, I want you to tell me what you thought about this, the fact that the court went ahead and said nope. The judges saying this is not right, and giving this guy a chance and a second round going. This is the second time, right? The Kenya was the first one that did it.
Yeah. Kenya
So
is the
yeah,
first
tell
country
me.
that Yeah, so Malawi becomes the second African country to announce presidential elections. Of course, Kenya was the first in 2017, but even with the announcement in Kenya, nothing really much changed. But at least, that was actually a sign. So, Malawi, I think people were fed up with this person because you realize that everybody was happy that this former president was actually out, like the court ruled in favor of the now president, such that they had to go into a rerun. It's called rerun. Yeah. So I think a lot of people were excited, and it gives hope. It gives hope that maybe someday or some point you're going to start having maybe fair elections, maybe, because you see in some countries it's really crazy, because you have countries where the president has been in power since you were born. You find that the president has been in power 30 years, 20 something years. So maybe a lot of countries who consider themselves, a lot of countries consider themselves democracies, or in fact some even have democratic republic or democratic, but democracy, what happened in Malawi is what I could call democracy. If at all we had to go with democracy, then maybe this should actually be a lesson. And well, I believe this is actually a sign of hope, keeping in mind that such things could never happen in the 90s or the 2000s and 2010, and you know and the years back. So I believe this is actually hope. There is hope, and I'm really hoping that this new president actually develops Malawi. Malawi is one of the poorest countries in Africa. So I've been to that country, challenges, even electricity and all that. So I can't wait to see what this new president is actually going to offer the people of Malawi.
Yeah, I hope he brings real change. Fun fact, I did not know the previous leader, Peter Mutharika. Um, he was in power from 2014 to 2020, right? His brother, Bingu wa Mutharika, was the president before that from 2004 until he died in 2012. I did not know that. I just found out that. It's interesting, the brothers. So, yeah. The second one we wanted to talk about is the decolonizing street names, landmarks, and parks in Africa. So there have been pushes from what I saw in Uganda, Nigeria, of this names of the colonizers the places being named after them. In Uganda, there's an avenue, Ternan Avenue, named after the British colonizer. Now there's King George, and also their park, Queen Elizabeth II. It was renamed after her visit to Uganda. So the other thing I found is also Frederick Lugard. His statues are both found in Uganda and Nigeria, and also he has a street named after him in Nigeria. And this guy is known for degrading treatment, Africans treatment, and people are pushing for this to change for the names. Um, but the one thing I hear people say is, um, why do you want to change history? And I disagree. I don't think it's about changing history. It's, of course, we believe in knowing your history, because at the end of the day, that history is part of you. It's who you are, even if it's your ancestor, not really you that went through it, it will determine your past, your future. You need to know what they did wrong or what happened for you to just navigate through life. So I don't believe history should be erased. But with that being said, I also believe that it's not about changing history, but it's about celebrating those who mistreated you, celebrating those who dehumanized you, and that is not right, and they should not be celebrated.
Yep, I agree with that, because the person who gives you name, or the person who names you, has power, conquers you. So by the fact that we keep naming these streets and these places after these people, it simply means they're still conquering. So their energies are still out there, and we need to get rid of that energy. Also, a lot of people feel like, oh, it's nothing, it's just a name, there's bigger issues to solve, but I would tend to disagree. Why can't we solve those bigger issues and including all these small issues both at the same time? Renaming streets shouldn't be much a problem. We just have to look back at our history and who are our heroes, then just rename them. It shouldn't be much a
And
process. If we are very comfortable having a street known as Queen Elizabeth, or having a street known as Frederick Lugard, or so and so, why is it so hard to just change that name? How is that as like I don't know, because a lot of people have politicized it. Sometime back, about 6 months ago, at the East Africa Legislative Assembly, there is a representative from Tanzania who said that we need to change the name of Lake Victoria. Unfortunately, he didn't receive the needed support, and he had to like back like withdraw the motion to change the name of Lake Victoria, which is very sad because some people were like, oh, so what do we call it? Oh, Lake Victoria is shared in 3 countries. So Ugandans would want their name, Tanzanians would want their name, Kenyans would want their name. But I believe that shouldn't be a problem. What is so hard in that Lake Victoria? On the Ugandan side, it can have a different name. In the Kenyan side, it can have a Kenyan name. And in the Tanzanian side, it can have a Tanzanian name. We don't have to have one name for it. We have places.
And if it's not that important, why did the colonizers feel the need to rename it? Because you see, it already had a name before they changed it to Queen Elizabeth, Victoria, whatever they wanted to name it. There was a local name for it. There was a name for it. So they felt the need to change it because it is important. It's not a silly matter.
Exactly, exactly. So, and I'm very sure there was one name for it. You realize that the people around the lake before the Berlin conference, before the continent was split into whatever it is today, you find that these resources were probably in one region or one country. But then the reason they divided it into different countries, it's just to get people to fight over it. So that's why it was very hard, because they said, oh, so what are we going to call the lake? So I think that was also intentional, to just keep people clashing, because even in Kenya and Uganda have always had an issue of a certain island on Lake Victoria. Kenyans believe they own the island. Uganda believes that they own the waters around the island. So it's always a clash between Kenya and Uganda on that. And and also looking at somebody in the comment section has said Logad's wife named Nigeria supposedly to be nigger area. You see, that's also a challenge. You're living in a country that you don't know what it means. A lot of countries were given names that we don't know. I think the only place, okay, I don't know, but at least I know Kenya's name. Kenya wasn't named by the colonizers. It was a local name, like it was a local name.
Okay, they didn't feel the need to change it. Maybe it was easier for them. You see, the ones they changed is because they couldn't pronounce. They're like, I'm not dealing with that. I'll name you what I will name you.
Also,
Because if you remember, yeah.
also, Senegal also at the Gori Island, they had named a place Europe Square. They had to rename it. They said it inspired by the George Floyd events and all that. Fine. I see that the George Floyd events, the Black Lives Matter and all that, the movement at the moment, it could have been hijacked and all that, but there's also some positive things about it, because we've seen at least this decolonization, these people talking about decolonization of streets and all that. I think mostly it was inspired by that. They're bringing down of statues and all that. I'm just so surprised because some countries, I don't think at the moment in Kenya we have a statue of a colonizer. If there is, I don't know where it is. Because I remember I think when we changed the constitution and after we gained independence, lots of statues were being brought down. And the one of the last ones that was in Nairobi at Jivanji Gardens, it was brought down in about 2 years ago. It's not actually brought down. Somebody beheaded it. It was Queen Victoria's statue. Somebody beheaded it and threw it somebody beheaded it and threw it in the nearby bush. And then recently it was now fully removed. So yeah, I don't think we should be having these statues, because it's like honoring them for treating us so bad. And I also think we shouldn't be having our landmarks, lakes, rivers, and even names of countries being named after the colonizers.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. The other one I would like to talk about is Church of England and Bank of England apologizing for links to slavery. This actually started from a university college, London, in London. Research found that 100 clergymen and six governors plus four directors of the bank benefited from the slavery. So they basically showed that that's what they have done. And also, the team found out that about 47,000 people received 20 million pounds then, but now it is around 2 billion uh, pounds, 2 billion pounds. And that I saw this lady speak, and she was saying how this was just paid off. It was finished being paid off in 2015, and taxpayers have been contributing to that. And imagine, even black people have been paying part of their tax, have been going to paying these people, and they just finished paying this 2 billion pounds, and people did not know that until now. Like, at least most people that are not in politics, me for example, I just found out. And it was so crazy to me. One, you're paying the slave owner for releasing him. That was part of the agreement. Why they let them go is because they were promised compensation. The slaves went went out of that house with nothing, no house to live, no place to go, no money, no income, and still nobody cared, and they were out, and they were expected to thrive. They were expected to live as the society, like as part of the society, when they are starting from zero. And the fact that slaves did not get compensated and the masters got compensated, it showed me what kind of twisted reality we are in.
Yeah, I agree with that. And personally, I've never believed in apologies or my opinion on these things could be like on the other end. Like, I don't believe in apology. Just saying sorry doesn't change anything. If you
But
look at
it's a
Europe,
start.
if you look at Europe right now, a lot of our artifacts are in their museums, be it England or
Correct.
whatever. Museums, everything that they have, most of the things, like a lot of things that they have in their museums, they got them from us, and they also charge a lot. Sometimes you see them auctioning them, and there's
Mm,
been
yeah.
push to repatriate all these things. And like, apologies, sorry is just a sorry word for me. Like, sorry is just a sorry word. I don't believe in apologies in that, as long as the effect of slavery can still be felt up to today. There's really nothing, however long it takes, until a proper compensation is done to the countries that they colonized, to the countries that they stole from. Then it's just a sorry word, and there's nothing that can change. It doesn't save anything. People are still suffering the effects of that. They did a lot of bad things, a lot of atrocities to the citizens or to the residents or to the people of Africa. So I don't believe in apologies at all. Sorry is just a sorry word. I mean, okay, fine. A lot of people might try to justify and say, "Oh, that was in the past and all that," but we cannot just say it's the past, because the effects we're still facing them.
Yeah.
So sorry is just a
I
sorry word. I don't
understand.
believe in these apologies. And for me, it's just a way they're trying to use to pacify us, not to demand for compensation and everything that they did to us. Or in some countries they put some countries like Zimbabwe on sanctions because they kicked them off. Like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
our land. You took it, you didn't buy it, you took it from us by force, and now when you're told to go back, you want to you shouldn't even say. In fact, you should pay for the duration that you stayed on that land before you go. That's the only
A
way that
hundred
it's going
percent.
to be fair.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not
No, a
fair
hundred
that
percent.
a country goes into sanctions and trying to make Zimbabwe to be very poor because of just being kicked out of their land, like taking what is rightfully theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand where you're coming from, but the way I was looking at it was, it's a start, because um first you have to know that, I guess they already know that they did something wrong. Okay, I'm just trying to see what can be done. If it should come, first apology should come because they're accepting what they did, and then maybe going forward, we there's an echo. Can you hear it?
No.
Okay, I guess it's on my side. So I was saying, um apology, I don't mind it. I'm okay with it that they have apologized. But for me, the issue became, especially when it came to Bank of England, what they actually apologized for is not them doing anything wrong. Their word was, even though we were not directly involved and we didn't do anything, we allowed those people to do that, or we backed up, or we supported the people that did it. Do you get, like, they didn't fully take accountability for what they did. That's the part I was like, really, like, if you're apologizing, apologize fully, not for blame it on somebody else and say, they made me do it, or when they did it I just was quiet, and that's what I'm apologizing for. But I guess it's the cool thing to do now, to apologize, to appeal for the mass, because people are outraged. It has reached the limit where people just are tired now. They, as you said, sorry is just a word. Like, okay, so what are you going to do about it? What comes next? That's what we need to discuss even more. What do you think they should do other than saying sorry?
For me, it's compensation and fine. They say they were not directly involved. What happened to the cops, including the one who was standing and not doing anything when George Floyd was killed, and all of them being charged? Yeah,
Yeah, but you have to understand, all of them would have not been charged if people were not outraged.
yeah.
So
So
it's
that's why.
good we're outraged.
Yeah, so that's why like I don't care whether they were directly or indirectly involved in it. For me, I think there has to be compensation. I mean, look at their countries. Who developed their countries? It was the labor of the slaves that they took from Africa, right? And
Yes.
that developed, they took the strongest. They took because of course they took the strongest. The weak ones were dying along the way, but the ones who got there, they were used freely. They were never paid for that. Um, and on the other side they were taking resources and all that. For me, unless they do the same, now they come and build it build Africa for free, then that's the only time I can say maybe okay, so we can at least try to forgive, but we can never forgive 100. It can never be 100% as long as some people lost their lives. It can never, like, it's something that you cannot forget or just say, oh, you are forgiven. No, like, you did it, you're wrong, it's okay. We are just, we're just not accepting as such. I don't know the term to use, but it's okay. You've tried to show remorse, but we've not accepted it. We've not, like, we cannot fully accept.
We will tolerate you.
Yeah, we'll tolerate you. So, but until then,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make sense. If at all they care and these apologies they making, yet they know very well at this very point their countries are still robbing Africa. Their countries are still stealing from Africa. Now, before you even apologize for the past, what are you doing about the present situation? So that's
So how
they
do
have
you think we can do it? Like, we can't rely on them, as we know, but you ask, what can we do to
pardon?
help with that process, or just make sure we expedite the process? As Africans, let's say we're all one, the leaders, us, the people. What can we do individually to um, help support this? What you're saying? Is it that we need to be outraged on Twitter? Is it that we have to go and speak? What do we do to expedite the process? Because we can't leave it on them.
Okay, I think only if we are united, like we put it forward maybe as the African Union, but like it's hard to do it as individual countries. It can only be done
Yeah.
in unison. Like,
Yes.
not maybe the African Union, they can still do it in blocks, East Africa, West Africa. But I believe if we do it as the African Union, like just one unit, speaking in a common voice, that would be possible. But it's really hard to achieve anything when you're trying to negotiate just as a country or one unit.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's part of the reason why they dismantled us. They created 55 countries. It's because it's easier, divide and conquer. It's easier to, if you're separated, if you're not united, your voice is not as strong. And they made sure, even we talked about the the currency, the CFA, now turning into echo. Simple as that. You can see how a French government can just come and turn these few countries, when they already were agreeing on moving forward with one currency, the others just felt like, okay, we have a deal with the French, so why not let's have a deal with them. And they told them about it like with everybody else. And the Anglophone countries were a bit upset at first, and they even had a meeting, right? So that shows you how we are even now. It was really obvious how we're not united. Even those countries that agreed on one currency couldn't go forward with it. When French came, they signed up with them.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. So that's evident. So the next topic is about the Chinese people that want to flee Kenya because they don't trust your people can handle it. So I want you to start telling us about that story.
That's quite interesting because initially I remember when COVID broke out, a lot of them were trying to leave their countries for other places. Of course, through that, it spread. And I remember a time when the plane from China landed in Kenya, and people were like, what's happening? What's happening? Why are
Yep.
we allowed it? And then they raised voices. They wanted to be everywhere apart from their country during that time. So, and they wanted, there was, don't discriminate us and all that. But now they've seen that the situation on their end has come under, it's they've kind of managed to control the situation. Now and they see the cases are rising. I don't know if there's, maybe there could be few African countries at the moment that the curves are flattening, but of course, most African countries, the cases are rising. Just that it's not like thousands, hundreds of thousands, 20,000, 8,000 cases like it was in Europe and America. So I think now maybe they, in their mind or wherever they've predicted, maybe in their mind, maybe they think that it might get worse here while it's calm on the other side. So that's why they're like, no, 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 we have to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
think
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I think
Go ahead.
it's kind of selfish. It's a selfish thing because remember the situation when the situation started getting better on their side, they started discriminating on Africans, and especially Africans, not just black people. They were mostly discriminating on Africans because I came to realize they actually treat Africans worse, and they prefer African Americans to Africans. So continental Africans, that is. So I think it's kind of a selfish thing because at the end of the day, they were discriminating on our people there, and they live comfortably here. Now, when the situation is rising or the cases are rising here, they want to run to their side. If it increases the other side, they would want to run back. So yeah,
But we should the government should not let them come back. That's for
yeah,
sure. But them wanting to leave is not an issue. I understand. They care about their lives. But the one thing I found interesting was this one lady from the ones that are supposed from one of the ladies that are supposed to go back to China. She said it's really hard nowadays living in Kenya because they really discriminate against us, and I can't even go to the supermarket in peace or hospital. They just run away and treat me like I have corona, and I just don't like it anymore. I was like, okay, isn't that what your people do to Africans there? So okay, like I was just like, ugh, whatever. But to be honest, I kind of I don't mind that the tables have turned, and people are now seeing Chinese, because I heard the same thing in Ethiopia. Even they were told, like officials were telling them, you stop the discriminating, because they just, even in Ethiopia, even the white people, they're like, not today. So they even they don't let them come near them, and it got me thinking, which one is the lesser evil? Having the mentality, or like white superiority complex, like, oh my god, this white guy, this mini god, or this Chinese mini god, or is it better to just have that mentality of, oh my god, this corona carrier came and they run away? So I was like, okay, I feel like I'd rather my people run away and just like avoid that person, because that means it slowly will take away that thought that they have whenever they see these people, they're like, oh, in awe. But
I
now it's
mean,
like,
God,
oh,
yes.
maybe that will help, like the, like, break away what our people were thought for so long, that this ideal humankind. And so I think it's kind of interesting to see in the future how we will now respond to other foreigners.
I think that's also, I also prefer that. I'd rather that than people seeing them as small gods. Like worshipping them. I'd rather people keep off.
Yeah. So I was like, when I read that, I was like, okay, good, good, good. So, yeah, the other topic we are going to address is South Africa accepting vaccine trial. Oh my God, this one. Okay. It began in June 24th in Johannesburg, and around 2,000 people were
Yeah.
uh, going to be tried. Yeah, yeah, on. And when was it? On the 24th of June, there was this Zoom meeting called Africa's Leadership, Vaccine Development and Access Confirmation. So on this meeting, I attended, and I saw what they were like. I was hoping that they're going to push off the vaccine, like not yet, or like what I've noticed from that meeting was Cyril Ramaphosa really pushed for it. He really wanted the trial to be at his home. And I just couldn't understand, as a leader, why would you want your people as guinea pigs? Like, you can tell he's like, oh, we're ready. We want to stop this. Like, everything they wanted to talk about, even WHO director Tedros Adhanom. The only thing there was, like, it was not a meeting to discuss with the people like they wanted us to believe. It was like they've already discussed it behind, and they're coming just to tell you, FYI, this is happening. And it was so annoying to me, because you see, like, they're saying South Africa is has the most cases. Yes, in Africa, but in the world, is South Africa the highest number? Why is South Africa the best candidate for you to come and try your vaccines that you don't know for sure are going to work the way you intend them, or the way you want them to work? Why South Africa? That was freaking annoying. It just reminded me when, like, last month, when Melinda Gates, Bill Gates' wife, was saying black people should get it first. That's what we're trying to do. She didn't say it in a mean way. What she said was, I hope YouTube does not cut this stream, because they don't like it when you talk about Bill Gates, anything about him. They remove my videos when I talk about him, so I don't know what their business is. So she was like, I'm speaking facts, whoever is listening. So it's on time that she had this conversation. The interview was on Time website, or I don't know if it's a magazine, but I read it on their website, time.com. So she was asked, so what do you think that like how should it be done? And she's like, first, it's black people. They're the most vulnerable. We want to help them, and with everything going on, like, they deserve the best. I'm like, girl, like, you're really trying to sell us that it's because you really care about us, that you want us to be the first to take the vaccine. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they don't think that we have a brain that can, like, think. I just don't get how she wanted to sell this to the world in a nice way. She was acting like she really cares. Even she talked about the George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter, and how it's so unfair that this is happening. And she said that, and it didn't take much time. Now they started in South Africa. What?
It's crazy for me. I don't know, but the vaccines, especially, I've watched a lot of videos about people talking about them, and at the moment I'm like, me no vaccine on me, no. Like, I think, why would vaccinations? I think are mostly meant to prevent. So if I don't have it, why am I taking a vaccine? Why can't I just use other modes of preventing myself from getting the infection or whatever? Or maybe my immunity just trying to boost my immunity. So I don't understand,
And
because remember when they were the French doctors were discussing on starting the vaccines in Africa, even the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros called it out. So I really don't know what changed. I don't know, because I remember when he made a statement and it was like, "Oh,
yep,
Africans will be guinea pigs." So I don't know what changed.
I guess somebody convinced somebody. But the other thing, you see, what they were talking about, because this vaccine is also, the Gates also, their foundation supports this vaccines. What is it called? Gavi. I think it's Gavi. Their,
Yeah, the one
yeah,
that
it's
has
Gavi.
vaccines for Africa.
Yeah, so what she was saying was, so this one, it's not going to matter if you have money or not. We're going to make sure even the most vulnerable, like the ones that can't afford it, low income, get it. Like she's our superhero, and she wants to do the best for us, even the rural areas. Her commitment is to make sure all of us get it. Um, my annoyance is, let them act like the savior. It's fine. How they're speculating that it's a must, one of those vaccines that you need to take, you know? And I'm like, if you, let's say this, you African tigress, me, we don't want, let's say, and this A, B, and C want it, and they think it will protect them. Okay, good. You believe in the vaccine enough to take the vaccine, correct? Okay, take it. But if you and I don't choose to take it, it's our life. We can die if we want to, no? If you took that vaccine and if you trust in that vaccine, why can't I say no? You're protected. That argument for me just fall flat. Like, I don't get it.
My only worry is my other worry. Not only I have a lot of worries about the vaccines, of course, but my other worry is are they going to make it part of the requirements to travel?
I suspect
You
so,
know,
by the way. That's my suspicion. That is my suspicion.
and I won't be surprised if they make it a one-way requirement, like, or only those people who are coming from these countries, because they're trying to push this narrative of black people being more susceptible to getting it. So they must
Yeah.
say, if you're black you must get it, if you maybe other race you can or you cannot get it. So that's my worry. Like, maybe we should stop traveling and just focus on that. Traveling domestically, nowhere else, because I'm afraid they're
Yeah.
gonna make it a
But you
requirement.
see, like leaders like Cyril Ramaphosa, we might not even be able to travel to South Africa because he might put a requirement. Look at him now being buddy buddy, and now he's the AU chairman. Like
It's
he's
okay.
supposed to be.
Then we won't,
Uh,
then we won't go to South Africa, because I don't know what
yeah,
we can
I
do from this.
okay, I've always wanted to travel the world, and before it was just like, because of the movies, of course, Hollywood. I was like, okay, I want to see this, I want to see this. But now that I've seen enough African countries, even on the YouTube, I'm like, okay, I can see myself traveling to African countries. So, like, I even committed to myself, every two African countries I visit, maybe I can go international outside of Africa or something like that. But if it comes to this, to a point where you can't, they tell me you can't come in, but take this, I think I will pass. I honestly think I can pass. Like, I've always wanted to travel, but yo, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it.
Me too. I can't unless
Yeah.
someone says they need to take the vaccines first. They don't want to do what's right for Africa. They only care for themselves. That's the Europeans for you. They are called Negropeans. Africans who Europeans. They call Negropeans or Africans.
What?
Africans who act like Europeans. or who want to be like Europeans. I don't know if it's Europeans or Africans or something. Anyway, somebody mentioned they have to take the vaccine first, but how do you know? Because vaccine, you can't. How do you know that what they took or what they vaccinated themselves is the same thing that you vaccinated yourself? They could vaccinate themselves with something and they water, distilled water. They could vaccinate because
Water is better. No, water is better for us. If it's water, we're good. It's the toxic thing we don't want. Probably there
like
is something in it.
what I'm saying is, yes, they might do like, oh, we've taken the vaccination, but then they
Oh,
do this
themselves.
what for
Yeah,
themselves,
yeah,
and you get, like,
yeah,
how
yeah,
do
yeah,
you
yeah.
get to test? Who tests it to know exactly what are they getting and what are we getting? Although one thing I know, in some situations when vaccines are created, they are created different type for different genes. Like white people would have a different one. This gene location and all that determine the type of vaccination. But for me, if our leaders are going to accept it, then let us start with them, the politicians and their family, their daughters, their wives, and their families. Once they've all taken it, and then the rest of us can think about it.
Everything is okay. I agree. I agree. They should take it first and we'll follow. Yeah,
I
but
think I think Cyril
in
Ramaphosa should be among the
I
two
don't
those
understand the
who
logic of
volunteer.
the world. The world is facing. I 100% agree. Along with the WHO director, along with Bill and Melinda Gates, along with this saviors of ours.
Yeah, everybody who wants to give me vaccine, they should get the vaccine themselves first. Me, I'm not taking no vaccine. Okay, I won't travel. It's okay. I'll just stick to Kenya then, if that's the point. But Tanzania won't, so Tanzania will be
I
open up.
think it might come to that.
Huh?
It might come to that. It might come to that, and we have to prepare ourselves, our minds, and tell ourselves, yo, you dreamed about doing these things, you sacrifice them.
We'll we'll just go to Tanzania.
Yeah, Zanzibar is beautiful.
Yeah, because I don't think you
Yes,
see
and
for them they've
the
not closed.
president is really growing on me.
Oh, I'm also liking because remember
I'm
initially
being a fan. Yeah.
when this COVID thing broke out in Tanzania, the president didn't go on lockdown. He did test and then found out that, oh, goats and whatever were testing positive for COVID, and then they never went on lockdown. Kenya, we went on lockdown at 7 cases. We've opened the country at 7,000 cases. And I remember we were like, oh, Tanzania, oh, they're not taking caution and all. They must be laughing at us right now.
Yeah, yeah, Tanzania is like one of the good. I we'll see, because he so far he's doing well, and hopefully they can be a great case study for us, because they're not the ones that didn't go on lockdown. They have not, because they were, even this article I read, they were saying how the president is really sabotaging the people, and probably even the reported case are not right, and that is why they're really low, and they're just throwing shade at him. And whenever the mainstream media tries to paint something nowadays, I'm like, okay, if you think this way, I think it's probably the other way. That's how I feel this day. So the fact that people are going off on him makes me want to know more of what he thinks and what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep. What are we talking about? Yes, the next one is about. I saw somebody. I think somebody's watching us from Nigeria, or a Nigerian. I saw a comment somewhere. So it's about Hush Puppy. His real name is what? Raman Olaronwa Abbas. Okay, so Dubai police recovered $40 million, 13 luxury cars worth 6.8 million, and 21 computers, 47 smartphones, and addresses of 2 million alleged victims. So the ones that really got me, the alleged alleged, what they claimed is that he was involved in a scheme to steal $124 million from an unnamed English Premier
Yeah,
League.
no,
That's
it's
the
not
kind
the
of
name.
brain. Like,
I know I know the football club. Is it Lazio? I've
really?
forgotten. I've forgotten. I saw it
Yeah,
yesterday. I saw it yesterday how he diverted money for an English whatever. I wish these people could
yeah.
use their brains for something, in a manner to
That
develop
is
movement.
exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, they are geniuses. Come on, let's use that for something else. Come, work with us to, hack those people that I don't mean it's steal. I don't mean steal, but like their brains is out of this world. For you to do that, I'm assuming it's a sophisticated software. Big companies don't use just a random laptop, Wi-Fi. It's locked. There are, programmers there. There are they have all these equipments and all these softwares, and yet these Nigerians can just, go in there and take what they want. And I love it. I respect that. But what I just found, okay, he had a partner called Woodbury, and he was accused of the same thing. Um, but for me, it was more about, okay, the stealing is really bad. Of course, we don't condone that. The brain I admire, but the flaunting of the wealth, like me, just in my mind, if I know I did something wrong, I stole, I would probably be really cautious and go, unnoticed. If I did all those things. But the way he flaunts his lifestyle and he tells people, yo, work hard, it will happen for you. God did this for me, so believe in God. You know.
Yeah. Oh my
So,
goodness, it's really the same thing. But okay, I've confirmed the football club is actually Lazio. It's Lazio Football Club. That is where he
okay,
tried
I
to
don't know.
sell. I think
Wow.
2 million Lazio football clubs come $2 million, and some people say, okay, I don't know if it's the same club, but there's also one I've seen 100 million from the English Premier League. Anyway, so I think a lot of people have smart minds, and a lot of people are smart, but you see, we have a lot of people who are smart when there's not so many opportunities. So, because at the end of the day, we are all kind of trying to be employed. We're trying to be employed. We're educated in a manner that we have to get employed. So some people, I guess, out of frustration, they get into that. I think it's totally wrong. Nobody should be engaging in that. And I was so surprised to see some people defending that. For me, I don't support any type of crime or whatever. I don't. Some people were supporting, oh, he's one of us, he shouldn't, oh, he was stealing from the colonizers and all that. It's okay, but what was that money benefiting you if he was stealing? If he was stealing it and investing in you, then maybe that one would make sense. But he was stealing it and
He
flossing
was
it on
investing in Gucci
Instagram.
and Fendi. He was
And
investing in those luxury brands and the
yes,
cars.
so some people were actually
He's
defending.
helping their economy, basically.
Yeah, he scammed over. I see Phil on the stream, African diaspora and Hush Puppy scammed Mzungus. Yes, he
I
scammed
love
most of the people he
lots of
scammed came
millions,
from Mzungus.
including the football team. Football team, $128 million.
Yeah, yeah, lots
When
of
what called,
it was over
what
one.
leagues? English Premier League.
I don't know if it's your connection or mine because I can't hear you. It's cracking.
I hear you. Is it me? Oh, it's the network. Now,
I can't hear you, Wangel. I don't know if people in the chat, if it's me, or maybe let me see the chat. Is
is it
it me?
me? You can't hear me.
I can hear you now, but your screen is frozen. I don't know if it's my connection. How many of you can hear me? How many of you can hear me?
Talk.
And how many of you can hear Wongel? Oh, so he was
Yes,
trying
I
to
can
get
hear you.
reparations. But unfortunately, he wasn't using those reparations.
Good one, good
He
one.
wasn't using it to develop himself or, okay, we lost one girl, but I know she's going to join us back. Unfortunately, he wasn't using the reparations trying to develop his country or develop his people. He was just using them to, to flaws, to show off and making people believe in the illusion of praying to God because he said it was God. What people are asking him, how does he get the money? He said it was God. So that is the problem. Yes, one girl.
Yeah, I'm seeing people say Wendy's
Yeah,
network is
it's
bad.
better
Can you hear
now.
me? Oh, okay, okay, good. Oh, it's me. Okay, but now you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, good, good, good. So yes, we don't condone what he did, but it kind of tells you what people are capable of, what Africans are capable of. And because of, the bad leadership and the situation, they don't see a way out. The only thing they can see is, okay, the only way I can be rich is maybe through stealing. The only way. Can you hear me, African Tigress? You
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm
Go
seeing
ahead,
people
Mother.
still
I
saying that
can
I'm
hear you.
frozen. Okay. I hope
No,
they
you
can
are good
hear
now.
me. People are writing I'm frozen. Okay.
We can hear you now.
So this okay, perfect. So this shows us that there's a huge potential, and we have that. The resources, the potential. We're here. It's just the systems that need to be fixed, and the leaders that are going to need to adjust, because as you can see, this guy hacked into these big companies with sophisticated systems and got millions and went on until recently. So he was able to do that. It was not just him. There was one called Woodbury, one I forgot. His rival. They were even always competing who gets the best car, who gets the best, house and jewelry and designer clothing. And the sad thing is, even though all these things are there, the potential, the youth, and the resources, if you don't know how to use it, it's useless. Yeah. So
Mhm.
while it tells us that we have this real hope that we're not it's not just in our heads, it actually exists. Now what do we do about it? I think will be the greater struggle. But I think we can get there if enough people open their eyes.
That's very true. Someone I feel says what got him caught was stunting too much on the
Yes,
ground. Yes, yes, that is actually what
yes,
exposed him.
he
In fact, he had just
loved that
posted a
life.
new car.
Mm, go
You
ahead.
know, someone says we Nigerians are too individualistic, sadly. Well, yes, I think he had just bought a new car and he's having all this. Like, if he kept it low, because when you're showing your wealth and nobody knows the source, people are bound to start suspecting you and investigating you. If he didn't do that, if he
Yep.
wasn't showing off, maybe he would not be caught.
Yeah. Yeah, he was showing off. And the sad thing is, even most people work hard or steal or whatever to get the money. They rather have nothing. There's two different things. Some people just want the money and they chase the money and they're happy living their life. But nowadays, especially with the social media, most kids, if you ask them, maybe it's such a big dilemma for them: money or fame. They want to be famous. They want to be Instagram famous or on YouTube. Like, I saw a stat that showed the highest number. I forgot the exact number, but it was the highest number the highest number in UK, a research done in UK and the US. Most kids were 14, 10 to 18. They were asked what they aspire to become. They said YouTubers. So you see, they're being shaped that this is what is going to give you a good life or whatever. So this guy thought for this guy the money was not enough. He had millions. And he was like, no, 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 no. I want to show people I have it. Because if you see him, it's not even like I settle, like I look at my Gucci. It's like he tags it. He goes to Gucci, films himself, and shows you exactly what how much he spent. And he really tells them to show off to be like he needed that validation of people saying, "Oh, he's doing better than me." It's not just about I have it, because if you have that money, you just want to enjoy it. You don't want online and show it off. It was just attention. He wanted for whatever reason. He wanted badly. I mean, he's a thief, but yeah.
Okay, your connection is bad again. Your connection is bad. I don't think people can hear you. I can't hear you either. But someone says he was living
Oh,
in an
okay.
illusion. Still, the Most
Can
High
you hear
will
me now?
forgive you. Huh?
Can you
I
hear
don't
me
know.
now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. You're saying?
Yeah, someone is saying he was living in an illusion, still think that the Most High will forgive him, but he should have helped his people. Yeah, if only he could have spent that money in something, because you see, all these vehicles will be auctioned, their house and all that. If he could have spent that money in something that's like could have developed people, something that they cannot recover, you get something that they won't recover. I mean, that would have really made sense.
Yeah.
But now it's just cars and houses, luxury stuff that's now at the end of the day they're going to be auctioned.
Yep. Yep. And he's in the US.
Praise on.
US wants to try him. The Dubai police. Yeah, it's not the Dubai, because most of the things he stole from the US companies and Chicago, also Iowa, California. So I guess that's why Interpol was also involved.
I think I read somewhere that one of the things that got
Yeah,
him caught.
hopefully he
I read somewhere that one of the things that made him
go ahead.
to get caught was that um, he tried to steal money that was meant for COVID kits or something like that from the US government.
I
That's
mean, he's
what.
not the first one. Is in Congo that they are taking this politician to court because he embezzled money that was supposed to go to COVID.
But the same thing happened in Kenya. Remember the donations that disappeared from the airport?
Yes, yes,
So,
yes, yes, yes. I remember.
yeah,
I
so.
remember.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. It's just ridiculous. Okay. Yeah. So that's our thoughts on this, right? So we go to the next topic, that is King Philip. Is it Philip or Felipe? Because it's E after P. So King Philip became the first Belgian monarch to express remorse about his relative King Leopold's brutal plunder of the Congo. So surprisingly, this is the very first apology. The other apology they got was last year when the prime minister apologized for the Metis. It's not the same thing. The Metis were the mixed kids of Congo that white men impregnated the women, and once the babies come out, they don't want that mixed baby to be there, so they take it away, kidnap it, and take it to Belgium, and they raise it there. And for that, they apologize the very first time. But this apology is different because he just apologized for the things they have done, not specifically for the Metis and the kidnapping, but he accepted, talked to these people, but he just said he apologized. And it's amazing that it is the very first apology, one. Secondly, like his relative, they say this guy is the nephew, like great 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 nephew. So his great great uncle killed almost 15 millions. 10 to 15 million is what is estimated that he killed in Africa. And he did so many. It's not even like when you compare other colonizers, like make them look like saints. He was evil guy. And that part is in Belgium, they don't even accept it for you. Like they tell you that's not the story, that's a made up story. Our king is a great king. And my thing is apology, as I told you earlier. I know you don't believe in sorry because it's just a word. Okay, he
Yes.
apologized. That
Uncle, what's
means
happening
he
today
admitted
with
there
the
is something
internet?
wrong
The
that
internet
has
is so
not
bad.
gone.
Your
Should I
internet
should
is
I
so.
maybe
Maybe if you could just switch it, because I know we are also almost finishing. Maybe if you could switch it. Anyway, maybe as I'm talking, you can try switching it
yeah.
and refreshing it.
Okay. How do I refresh it? I've never done it.
Okay, okay. You'll have to leave
How
and
do you
then
refresh
come
it?
back. You have to leave StreamYard. Maybe change in
Okay.
case you're using Wi-Fi or mobile data. If
Okay.
you're using mobile data, change to Wi-Fi. If you're using Wi-Fi, change. Or sometimes just leave StreamYard and come back again. I don't know why it's behaving that way today.
Okay, continue until then.
Okay, okay. So, my take on the apology, I don't believe in apologies. I think I earlier on mentioned it on this stream that I don't believe in apology, just saying sorry, sorry we stole from you, sorry we took from you. I don't believe in that until proper compensation is done. We can tolerate you, but like I said, it can never be forgiven. Like looking at the situation in DRC, the King Philippe is a nephew of Leopold, and we all know what Leopold did in Africa. We know how he would even cut children's arms, cutting people. It was a lot of sad things, and the fact that this very same country that he leads still is exploits DRC, so it's not an excuse. It doesn't really help. Just saying sorry, we did this, we killed you, we raped you, we stole from you, we stole your babies, and all that. A lot of people lost connection. Like recently, I was watching a documentary about someone who was stolen from. DRC and was taken to Belgium and then later on reintroduced back to the mother. But I think that period of growing apart, they didn't have a relationship. It's like now the mother lives suffering in Rwanda and this guy just lives in Belgium. So apologies, apologies, apologies. Sorry is a sorry word. It doesn't make sense until compensation is done, until they stop exploiting the Congo. Then, well, maybe we can tolerate, but I don't think we can ever forgive and forget. As I don't know, they say forgive and forget. It can never, like, that can never happen.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Am I back?
Yeah, it is better.
Better but bad. We're wrapping up, so maybe it's fine. But can you hear my whole sentence or am I buffering?
We can hear you. We can hear the whole sentence.
Okay, perfect. So I got the last part of what you said. I am with you with that. I am with you when you say we can't forget, but uh I don't know about the forgiveness part. I can forgive you. Okay, I don't want to sound like okay. I can forgive you, but I cannot forget you. So what you can do, I think, is after the apology, what should come next is, as you said, compensation. Um, but other than that, I think what they should do for them is, as the country, give them some kind of uh political lenient, like if it's, how countries friendship wise they can benefit each other, they give them lower tax, or they ship free whatever Belgium is an expert at, or they export Congo and Rwanda, because we shouldn't forget Rwanda and Burundi were also their colonies, but even though they did the most in Congo, so they can maybe do there must be something they can do. That I agree with you. And other than the compensation, I think they should even help them to get themselves together, because they are the reason why they are where they are. They were this peaceful people living their lives. They came in there and they messed up everything. So when they left, what they should do now that they have accepted it is start building schools. Me, I would be happy if they built schools. The curriculums and the policies, they can't meddle in that. Nothing like that. I mean, the actual buildings, the building, the blocks and
Yes,
the
yes.
bricks. They build in schools. They set up things that are tangible. We can see that the people can benefit. If there's no water, build them wells and things that for a fact can bring some kind of relief for the people right now. There's a lot of terrorism right around that area and violence. Send your troops, help them out, or train there something that we can see and we can tell that you have contributed to these people the same way you contributed to their downfall, looting their natural resources, taking away their money, raping their women, taking their children, their mixed children. You did all these things. You did the most. Now do the most in return. In actual, in actual, what do you call it? Things that we can just see. Let's just leave it at that. I want to
Tangible.
be able to
Tangibles.
get. Yes. So that would make me really happy to see for them to actually do that, because even their museums and the places that they have, that even the gold statues there, King Leopold II is put there, is from the looting that happened from Congo. That's the wealth of Congo. So you have to, the way you're apologizing for it, you have to 100% accept that you are where you are because of these people, their resources, and using their slaves. So they should definitely compensate and do their best to fix the mess that they have created.
Yes, yes, yes. And not just fixing the profits and everything they've generated, can it be quantified and the people of Congo be paid or be paid to the government of Congo? Unfortunately, it's not like a stable government anyway, but to be paid to the government to use it for development of their country. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's just my take on
build
it. I don't
roads.
believe in apologies.
Yeah,
Build roads, build infrastructure, but now the problem is if they're gonna build lots of infrastructure, then sometimes they leave. They can do like modern infrastructure and stuff like that, but then they leave something in the system that collects all information, and then they later on use that information against you. So I don't think that they can really. They should really build the infrastructure, but they can pay, and then the locals build the infrastructure, because I don't trust them touching anything. Not even a building they build and they tell you free that it's a free building they're building for you. I don't believe that they can actually do it for free and you just benefit like that. The same way that's the same way they build the African Union. Okay, that was the Chinese. When they built the African Union as
China.
a, what did they do? They left a bag and lots of information was being collected. So I don't believe in them building infrastructure. It's maybe they will put it in a manner they collect information. And of course, we all know that data is the future. Like whoever controls data controls the future. That's why you see all these
Yeah,
companies, the YouTubes, the Googles, the Facebooks, and whatever. They're all always trying to collect
yeah,
data from us. So because data is the future, so I don't believe in them building anything for us, but
yeah,
they can pay, then we do it on our own.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's what has been happening in Africa, and certainly there are some bad news, not so good news. Um, was there any good news though? Oh, Malawi, it is a good
Malawi is
news.
good news. What
So
happened in Malawi was good news.
yeah, so at least we have one good news for you guys. We're thankful for that, and hopefully, even the apologies, I think it's something. I know you disagree, but yeah. So that was the recap for. I know, that was the recap for the last month for you. If you guys have any question, ask us real quickly because we need to close this live.
Yeah, questions. Someone asks how does Wangel have internet since Ethiopia has shut it down? Wangel is Kenyan.
Yeah. Uh,
But you're a
I'm
Kenyan.
not in Ethiopia currently. I am half Kenyan.
Yeah, Wangel is Kenyan.
Yeah. So the internet, they are right. The internet is no longer working. Even with the family, I keep up with a normal line. So yeah, that's why I have internet. Explanation. Long story short,
Yes.
Kenya has the best internet, right?
Apart from
Tigress, I
yesterday,
haven't been to many African countries, but from the ones I have been, huh? What
apart from
happened?
your internet today.
Yeah, it's bad, but Kenya is good. It's good most of the time for me. I think it's mine. Hi. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but that's my, wow, two of my favorite YouTubers are live. Plus, they both are super cute. That's always a plus. Thank you. Do we say Medjay Albaub? I see his comments.
Baobab.
He's a really good one of the good ones. Yeah, but I don't know how to pronounce your name. I just read it in my head. I never had to say it out loud. So sorry if I mess it up. Medjay Bao Al Bao.
Mm,
We love you too, Igbo. I hear Somaliland has fiber optics. Really? Or are they kidding?
I think most
That's
countries on the east coast of Africa, because I know Kenya has like the best. Also, is
it is
either
the best.
I think okay, Mauritius. I think Madagascar. They have good internet.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. But I hear South Africa is not that good. I would assume South Africa would be the best because of, their growth and everything.
Mm,
But it's not the best. And it's
it's
expensive.
not the best. When I was there, was I think there's this thing when you're used to fast internet. Sometimes when you go to a place that there's slow internet, if you are not very
Oh,
patient, you like
yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
never get what like this thing. Why is it taking so long to load? So I
I
know.
I can understand you've lived in Kenya for your whole life. Me, I've been spoiled, and when I go back to Ethiopia, I'm like, what is this now? Why? I complain so much, like because it's like I'm so used to this fast internet. Yeah, but Ethiopia even now it's way better. It is way better than what it used to be. So we're
Mm-hmm.
getting there. We're okay. We're growing. Botswana isn't bad. Okay, cool. Good to know.
I love.
Junin Zone. I love Africa. Plan to visit, and my mother and my uncle plan to go there as well. Okay, good. We will have you. We'll be happy to have you. Yeah. So I don't see any questions. So we will end it here. African Tigress. Any last words?
Oh well, I I don't have anything to add because I think I've already shared much about it on my opinion on what we discussed. So mine is to appreciate everybody who showed up for the stream, and yeah, like
Yeah.
the stream.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You're
Yes.
asking me.
Like the stream, please.
So if you join the stream and you didn't like the stream, go ahead, like the stream, support our sister Wangel. And for those who don't know, I also have a YouTube channel, African Tigress. Go ahead and
Who
please go.
doesn't know African Tigress?
You no, not everybody knows me. Not everybody knows me. I'm very sure there could be somebody else watching and is not subscribed to my platform. So I'm
Okay.
kindly
Go subscribe.
asking you to go ahead and check my YouTube channel as well. I do stream a lot. I do have a lot of open conversations where people can just join and have, chat. And I also do have amazing videos, amazing news, a lot of things. In fact, I have two YouTube channels, but for now, okay, I have this one. You know about this one, and I also have the Kenyan sister one. So go ahead and check
Yeah.
out my YouTube channel, support sister as
on
well.
Kenyan sister, we get to know her like real everything
Beyond
about her.
YouTube, like beyond YouTube, beyond this conversation. Basically,
Yes, her life.
is like it's a vlogging channel, just a
Yeah,
vlogging channel, a channel where I do like things that I like, things that I enjoy, things I experiment and all that. Yeah. So go ahead. I'm trying to get my link so I can share it just as we're talking. In a second, I'll get it. Keep on the pressures on the Mzungus in China. One girl, Ethiopian sister. How come only 22 views? Someone is
now
asking how.
23. I guess you're here. Like the video, Kia Caleb.
And also,
That's
if
for
you
people
don't
to
share
watch.
out the videos, like when she's streaming, when she's
Yeah,
having these videos, you have to share them out so that you can have,
yeah,
through your circles, there could be people who are not subscribed to her platform. So through your circles,
yeah,
when you share out the streams, when you share out her videos, you'll get more people watching and
yeah.
tuning in next time she's
Yeah.
having a live stream.
Okay. Thank you, Caleb. He's saying I'm gonna spread the word. Don't worry next time. Thanks. Thank you. So we're finishing up. Thank you so much, Tigress, for
Yeah,
coming here and updating us. It's always nice to have a conversation with you because it's two different perspective, and I see things I haven't seen just my way, and it's kind of refreshing having to see it from the other side as well. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm pretty sure you're going to join another live now.
yes, I'm going to
So
be
good luck
streaming,
with
not right now, in about after 1 hour
that.
from now, after 1.5 hours
Of
from now,
course,
I'll be doing my
I knew
usual
it.
live stream.
And thank you, Majay. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, we will end it here. You guys, wherever you are, if it's daytime, morning, nighttime, have a blessed day. I'll see you on the next video. African Tigress, you can go join her after a bit. Um, bye. Good night.
Bye
For us, it's
bye.
night. Good night.